I always figured I had to be adopted. I mean, there's no way I could possibly be the progeny of my insanely perky parents. Mom's all about positivity and glitter, and Dad? He's basically a walking frat boy who never left the 90s. Golf, barbecues, and endless dad jokes. And then there's me. No one here ever got me. Not the teachers, not the kids at school. Definitely not my parents. Except for Michaela. She's the only one who's ever really understood me. We've been best friends since 3rd grade. I still remember her showing up in class with her chipped black nail polish, and I just knew she wasn't like the others. Before Michaela, I didn't have friends. I mean, how could I? Everyone else was into tea parties with stuffed animals, and I was more into collecting bugs and getting dirt under my nails. Some called me goth, but I'm not into labels. I love horror movies, and I find the occult exciting. Michaela was the only one who didn't think I was crazy. She didn't freak out when I dyed my hair purple. She tagged along when I got my ears pierced and helped me pick out my first tattoo, a symbol of the occult. Michaela's always been there for stuff like this. She didn't get her own tattoo or piercing, though. She plays with the dark side, but doesn't live in it like I do. For me, it's more than a phase. This is who I am. The darkness just makes sense to me. I revel in it. Halloween, horror movies, everything that's raw and real. This shiny suburban world has a dark side. Everyone is just too afraid to confront. But not me. I know better. Death stalks us all, and no one is getting out alive. Michaela and I got jobs at the Moonstone coffee shop. I took a few classes down at the local college and began producing a guerrilla radio show from my attic. I called it All Things Wicked This Night. A show about the dark underbelly of this world, occult theories, urban legends, horror stories, and the creepy history of Greenville. Michaela and I often had heated debates about the horror movies we'd watch at the only theater in town. She likes her horror films with a little humor mixed in. But me? I like them with more gore. I want to feel the terror under my skin and the adrenaline rush. When I needed inspiration for my show, I took walks through the old Greenville cemetery. There's a lot of creepy history here, and it's my favorite thing to talk about. The strange disappearances, the weird sightings around town. People call in with the wildest theories. One guy theorized the town was built over a fracture, a kind of overlap between worlds. Another caller suggested the fracture was created by an ancient cult that worships demons. Another described the fracture as a cosmic creature that feeds on fear. Still another argued it was the unknown, a mysterious creature that consumed anyone who dared to imagine it. At the Moonstone's annual Halloween festival, I dared Michaela to tell a real horror story that would truly scare the audience. A story about the unknown. I told her, make them imagine it. Make them believe the unknown will show up on stage. Nothing terrifies an audience more than a show that could potentially kill them. It would be epic. Michaela laughed at the idea but declined because she was working on another story with her roommate. Fair enough. During her performance, a strange black fog crept up and took her. I felt the icy hand of guilt grab the back of my neck. I was convinced that this was my fault somehow, that I had sent Michaela to her doom. I did dare her to tell the story, to make people imagine the unknown. Did the unknown take her? Did she try to define the unknown? What about her roommate? Her roommate disappeared as well. I then realized Michaela's story wasn't about the unknown. This was something else. Another dimension. A dimension filled with terrifying creatures, sadistic killers, and endless horror. This was not the unknown. Frantically, I began to investigate other disappearances in Greenville more thoroughly. Soon I realized most of the disappearances occurred at the theater, or somewhere close by. Then, I discovered the theater was built over the ruins of an old one-room schoolhouse that had burned to the ground in the 1920s. Somehow, the students couldn't get out, and everyone perished in the flames. I was close to an answer. I could feel it. Continuing my research, I discovered 2 teenage brothers had recently disappeared from the theater, Elias and Elin. The only witness, their younger sister Ellen, was committed to an institution after ripping her eyes out. And so, pretending to be a relative, I went to talk to her. Ellen admitted she and her brothers had been trying to steal old movie posters from the storage room behind the movie screen. She then described a secret door in the basement and a passageway that led to another place. A dark place. A cold place. An evil place. Ellen begged me to stay away from there, but I was not about to stay away. Determined to see Michaela again, I hitched a ride to the theater and quickly found the door behind the movie screen. In the darkness, I jimmied the door open with a crowbar and headed down a creaking wooden stairway to the dank cellar. A light switch activated flickering fluorescent lights that illuminated a room filled with broken theater seats and old movie posters dating back 80 years. I searched the sprawling basement and found a thick wooden door hidden behind a poster of the original Frankenstein. Shoving it open revealed an endless circular stairway descending into perfect darkness. Using just a pen light to navigate, I descended for 10 minutes before I noticed it. A cold, black fog rising from the lower depths. The same cold, black fog that had taken Michaela. I got the feeling something bad was about to happen. For a brief moment, I considered running back up the stairs where I would be safe. But then I thought about all the terrifying creatures, the sadistic killers, and the endless horror. I couldn't let my best friend have all the fun. Yum. Subscribe for more Dead by Daylight stories.
That's that then.
Anyone have a story they want to share?